What is up and welcome to another video. Today we'll talk about Bitcoin, guys. I'm gonna give you a very important update. So if you're enjoying this kind of content, don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel, of course, click that notification bell. If you are ready, let's dive right in. Before we dive right into the charts, everything that we will talk about in this video is purely my opinion and should not be considered as a financial advice. Right now, you are looking at the Bitcoin's weekly time frame. As what you can see here, I'm using a logarithmic chart. If you have watched my latest video, I spoke about where to use logarithmic chart, or where I use logarithmic chart compared to a normal chart. So right now we are on the weekly time frame. And so what you can see, we have a double bearish divergence that forms on the oscillator, guys. This is using Chart Prime Oscillator Pro, one of the best paid indicator in the market. If you want to try it out, feel free to check out the link in the description. You can get a 7 days risk-free trial. So looking at the weekly time frame, we have a huge rising broadening wedge on the weekly time frame. And if you are going to zoom out, we have also a smaller rising broadening wedge. Later we'll talk about the smaller, shorter time frame immediate target in the immediate short term. And of course, in my opinion, this double bearish divergence will eventually play out. And if you are following me on my X account, I told you that we could probably see a correction in the coming months. So our major support trend line on the weekly time frame is sitting around $88,000 or $90,000. That will be the major support for this uptrend, guys. We have a multi-year support trend line on the weekly time frame, and the support is sitting around $90,000. And if you are following me on my X account today, I have tweeted that Bitcoin dominance, double bearish divergence, or double bullish divergence rather. So if you're looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart on the daily time frame, you will see that there is a double bullish divergence that forms on the oscillator, Chart Prime Oscillator Pro. And the Bitcoin dominance is hovering near my predicted support at around 58.8%. Now, if Bitcoin dominance goes up and Bitcoin and majority of the altcoins are showing bearish divergence, then this could probably play out in the coming months, guys, or in the coming weeks. So here's the Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame, and as what you can see, we have also a huge bearish divergence that forms on the oscillator. Now let's check some of the major altcoins in the market. So what you can see, AVAX also forms a double bearish divergence on the daily time frame. Let's try to look at BNB. BNB forms a bearish divergence on the daily time frame. Let's look at Polkadot, which also forms a bearish divergence on the daily time frame. Now looking at Ethereum, we have also a double bearish divergence on the daily time frame. And those are just some of the major altcoins in the market, guys. If you're going to scroll and check, majority of the altcoins also forms a bearish divergence on the daily time frame. Now let's talk about Ethereum very quickly here. So looking at Ethereum's weekly time frame, the oscillator right now is on the overbought area, and we have seen a break of resistance here. So right now the price is trading above this resistance trend line, and it looks like that we are seeing a short-term correction on this previous pivot point last 2021, which is also the previous all-time high. which is around $4,800. Now Ethereum could probably retest this previous resistance. Let's see if Ethereum will be able to hold this as a support. Now if Ethereum will be able to flip this into a support, expect another retest of the $4,800, and let's see if Ethereum will be able to hold this previous all-time high as a support. Next target, in my opinion, will be the $5,000. That will be my short-term target for Ethereum if the previous resistance hold as a support. But if the previous resistance doesn't hold as a support, then this is going to be the immediate short-term support for Ethereum, guys. We have a bullish order block on this level. So this is going to be around 3,365 up to 3,521. That is going to be my immediate support on the weekly time frame for Ethereum. Now, one of the previous comment, or one of my follower on X, is asking about the update for Polkadot. So let's try to check out Polkadot. Polkadot on the weekly time frame oscillator is still trading below zero. This is going to be the immediate resistance on the oscillator. Now let's go to the daily time frame. We have also a bearish divergence on the daily time frame. So we have this head and shoulders pattern. I have actually tweeted about this head and shoulders pattern. So we have this previous head and shoulders pattern which played out perfectly, and right now we have another head and shoulders pattern. The ideal breakout target of this head and shoulders pattern will be around 3.6, but we got a beautiful bounce near the middle zone at 3.7. So right now we have resistance on this level. So what you can see, we have this candle wicks right there. It's going to be the immediate resistance for Polkadot, guys. So there's going to be the immediate resistance for Polkadot. If a Polkadot will be able to reclaim this level as a support, then that is the time that we are going to look at the possible next target, which is around 4.8 and then $4.3. So let's see how many percent is that going to be. Around 10%. So this is going to be a very important resistance zone that Polkadot needs to reclaim. My immediate short-term analysis, if Polkadot will get rejected near this resistance, then probably it will retest this head and shoulders pattern target at around 3.6. But if Polkadot will be able to reclaim, if the daily candle closes above this resistance 3.9 or $4, then probably we'll look into a higher target, probably around 4.1 up to the previous local top in the 4-hour time frame, which is around $4.3. So this is going to be the target for the immediate short term. But right now, this is going to be the expected price action, guys. This green arrow right here for Polkadot. Now let's go back to Bitcoin before we end this video. Now, in my opinion, guys, Bitcoin needs to reclaim. We are seeing a break of support here, and we have a rising wedge pattern. The ideal breakout target for rising wedge pattern will be the bottom of the wedge, and that will give us a target of around 98,000 or $99,000 up to $100,000. So that is going to be the target in the immediate short term for Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin needs to reclaim this previous support in order to invalidate this rising wedge pattern. So Bitcoin needs to reclaim this level, guys. 118, 117, 300 zone. Resistance zone. So this is going to be the resistance zone that Bitcoin needs to reclaim to invalidate this 100,000 target. For right now, it seems that market is looking bearish. We have bearish divergence in majority of the charts on the daily time frame. This could play out in the coming weeks, while Bitcoin dominance is forming a double bullish divergence. That means that if Bitcoin dominance pump, then that is not good for majority of the altcoins. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and of course, click that notification bell. If you have any questions or chart requests, drop them in the comment section down below, and I'll see you on the next one.